Winter winds wail past Dunwyn's stone towers. The land was harsh, bordered by wild hills and rivers teeming with wolves, and worse. Yet within the high walls of the keep lived Lady Elira, daughter of Lord Heroine of Dunwyn, a woman unlike the poet's usual muse. She was not one for embroidery, nor courtly flattery. Her fingers bore the calluses of sword training, and her eyes saw through both deception and danger. When her mother died in childbirth, and her brothers fell to war, Elira was left as the last of her bloodline, inheriting the keep, its soldiers, and its sorrows. Whispers followed her. Some called her the Iron Maiden, others the Thorn of the North. But her people were loyal. She had faced bandits, rebuilt the granaries after a fire, and negotiated peace with the forest clans. Her heart, though, remained untouched, guarded as fiercely as the keep itself. A message in fire. One bleak night, fire bloomed on the southern hills, the signal of an attack. A messenger, bloodied and breathless, arrived at Dunwyn's gates. "The Red Riders," he gasped. "They've crossed the border. They've taken Holden Village. Burning everything?" The Red Riders' mercenaries turned warlords had plagued the southern kingdoms for years, known for their cruelty and fire. Elira gathered her council. "They will come here next," said Sir Roland, her captain. "Then we ride to them first," she answered. "But my lady," a steward protested, "you are Dunwyn's last heir. And what is a title if my people burn? I ride with 50 of our best. Prepare the keep for siege. If I do not return, hold until spring." And tell the world, Dunwyn did not bow. By sunrise, Elira led her small force toward Holden, sword at her side, cloak of silver and black billowing behind her. Her heart thundered, not with fear, but resolve. They found Holden smoldering. Charred wood and ash coated the snow like blackened confetti. But among the ruins was a prisoner, a man tied to a post, left to freeze. "Elira?" he muttered, barely conscious. She dismounted and turned his face gently toward the light. She knew him. Sir Calum of Aramore, once a knight in her father's court. He had left for war 5 years ago, and rumor claimed him dead. But here he was, broken but breathing. They freed him. As her men made camp in the woods, Elira sat beside him, fed him broth, and asked, "Why were you here?" Calum coughed. "I was tracking them. They took my sister when they raided Aramore. I followed the trail to Holden. Too late. They caught me." "You came alone?" "I couldn't ask others to risk it. I thought I could end it myself." She looked at him gaunt, injured, yet still fierce. "You're a fool," she said. "A brave one." Part 4. The Blade in the Shadows. That night, Elira crept through the trees with her scouts, spying on the Red Riders' camp. Dozens of them, armed and drunk, celebrating. In the center, cages, prisoners, including children. A straight attack would be suicide. She returned to her men. "We strike at dawn, but not as warriors, as ghosts." Using the forest paths and Calum's knowledge of their routines, they planned a raid, a swift liberation of the prisoners, followed by a retreat into the northern gorge, where the riders couldn't follow on horseback. Before the battle, Calum stopped her. "Elira, you always led with strength. But now, I see, you lead with heart. You never stop fighting for them." She looked at him, her eyes softening for the first time in years. "And you never stop fighting for the ones you love." A pause. A moment of truth. Then, battle. Part 5. The Reckoning. Like shadows, they slipped into the camp. Elira cut the locks of cages, whispered reassurances to terrified children. Calum fought beside her, guarding the escape route. But as the last of the prisoners fled, a horn blew they'd been spotted. Elira turned. "Run!" "I stay with you," Calum replied. They fought side-by-side, fire on their left, snow on their right, blades ringing in the chaos. One rider swung low, Elira ducked, stabbed. Another tackled Calum. She turned, drove her sword through the attacker's back. And then, pain, a spear nicked her side. Blood stained her tunic. Calum caught her before she fell. "You have to go," she whispered. "Never." And so, they fought their way back, dragging themselves into the woods as Dunwyn's men covered their retreat. Part 6. Return and Redemption. They returned to Dunwyn bruised, battered, but victorious. The prisoners were safe. The Red Riders fled north, their camp in ruins. The people hailed her, Elira the Brave, Elira the Flame. She had not only defended her land, she had lit a fire of hope across the north. Weeks passed, Caleb healed by her side, and together they rebuilt Holden. One evening, as snow fell lightly on the stone balcony of Dunwyn, Caleb stood beside her. "You know," he said, "the poets will turn you into a legend." She smiled faintly. "Let them, but let them also tell the truth." "What truth?" "That courage isn't the absence of fear, it's choosing to act in spite of it. And love," she turned to him, "love is not weakness, it's the fiercest strength of all." He took her hand, not as a knight pledging fealty, but as a man reaching for his equal. They stood together, not in a fairy tale ending, but in a new beginning, one forged by fire, blood, and the unyielding courage of an iron heart.